Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing everything that comes with Dripos menu building. On all Dripos ordering platforms, you will find the menu for your shop, which you can fully create and customize in any way that you want. Your menu will consist of the complete list of products that your shop sells. To get started, let's learn first about building menu categories. So to access your menu, you will want to go onto the web dashboard, click on the Sales tab, and then click Menu. From here, you will want to click on the Categories tab. So categories are what allow you to enhance the menu organization, so you can organize things into groups like breakfast or smoothies. Categories can also vary depending on the settings that you enable. For instance, categories can have distinct tax rates, be scheduled to appear only during specific times, and can be enabled or disabled across various platforms. So to get started, let's go ahead and create our first category. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Create Category button up at the top right here. And let's go ahead and call this Coffee. The category type will always be store order. From here, there are several different settings. First being Enable on point of sale. If this is set to yes, then the category will appear on the point of sale. Next is Enable on mobile. If this is set to yes, the category will appear on the mobile ordering app and Dripos order website. Next is Enable on kiosk. If this is enabled, the category will appear if your POS is set up on kiosk mode. Next is Enabled on third party. If this is set to yes, then the category will appear on third-party ordering platforms. And finally, autocomplete products. If this is set to no, then items in this category will appear on the ticket screen and will not be auto-completed, meaning that they would be marked automatically as completed and therefore not display on your KDS screen or print out. So let's go ahead and click Create. And boom, now we have our very first category. Now that we have created our first category, we can now move on and make our first product. So to access Products page, you will click on the Products tab on the left here. What you're going to want to do now is click on the Create Product button. From here, let's go ahead and call this product Iced Latte. Then click on this tab and you will find all of your categories listed down here. Since we've only created one category thus far, we will attach it to that. From here, you can also put in a price if the item is a fixed price. So let's say if this was like a blueberry muffin and all blueberry muffins are $3, you could put that in here. However, drinks are a bit different, so I'll discuss that a bit later in this call. So I'm just going to leave this at 0 since it depends on the size, how much the item costs. Next, you can put in a description. So I'll just say yummy latte. Synced locations. This means that when you create the product, it would be synced across different locations. So if you're a multi-unit location, when you're building the product, you can automatically have it synced to your other locations as well by just clicking here and selecting the locations that you want to sync to. Next, you can upload a product image if you'd like. So just click here and you can upload a screenshot that you have on your computer so that it displays next to the product. If you don't want to do that, you can also select any of these preset images as well. So if you wanted it to show up like this, or if it's a coffee, you can select this and whatnot. I'm going to pick this one for right now. Next, moving on to platforms. So there's several different settings here. So the first being point of sale enabled. If this is set to yes, then the product will display on the point of sale. Next is mobile enabled. If this is set to yes, then the product will display on both your mobile ordering app and order website. Next is kiosk enabled. If this is set to yes, then customers can order this product when the POS is set up on kiosk mode. And finally, third-party enabled. When this is set to yes, the product will show up on your third-party ordering websites. One thing to note is that if either mobile ordering or kiosk are not enabled, so if these were set to no, there will be an icon that displays on the point of sale indicating that these are disabled. So if you're not using mobile ordering, but you don't want this icon to show up, or if you're not using kiosk and you don't want an icon to show up, I would just recommend leaving these set to yes so that there's no icon displaying next to them on the point of sale. Moving on to tax settings. If you would like tax to be disabled for this product, you can set this to yes. If you would not want it to be disabled, just leave this at no. Next is tax override. So like it says in the tool tip here, if this is set to yes, then taxes will be applied to this product, even if it is ordered with a ticket type that has tax disabled. If taxes are explicitly toggled off with the tax toggle on the POS, then taxes will not be charged. I'm going to leave this as no, which is most common. Moving on to POS settings, one click. If this is set to yes, that means that simply clicking on this product would automatically add it to the cart. If this is set to no, then it would not automatically add it. So if this is a product that has multiple modifier options, like an iced coffee typically would, then I would recommend leaving this set to no. Autocomplete product. If this field is set to yes, then the product will be automatically completed upon purchase and thus not appear on tickets or your KDS. Note that this setting only applies to orders placed on the POS register. So typically the only things that are auto-completed are grab-and-go items, like a sandwich that someone already grabs and comes to the register with, and there's no making required after that point, or things like a bottled water. But for an iced coffee, that's typically set to no. You can also select an icon color for the point of sale. So this means that this color would display next to the product on the point of sale. So if I wanted it to be blue. And then you can also have an abbreviation for this product on the point of sale. So for a latte, you can have LAT. Note that this can only be up to 4 characters. So LA or LAT, or even LATE if you wanted. Then let's move on to mobile settings. Require advance notice. If this is set to no, then there is no advance notice required upon ordering. If this is set to yes, then it will ask you the days in advance notice that is required in order to order this product. I'm going to leave this for right now set to no. Moving on to minimum quantity. This is optional, but if you wanted there to be a minimum quantity that must be ordered for mobile and web orders, you can put that in here. Please note that this does not impact point of sale orders. You can always leave this blank if you don't want there to be a minimum. Moving on, there's also maximum quantity. So this is the maximum quantity that could be ordered for a mobile or web order, and this also does not impact point of sale orders. So I'm also going to leave this as no. You can also attach preparation instructions here. So these appear on printed make tickets, printed with legacy printing mode. So not really common moving forward. So I would recommend just kind of leaving this section as it is. Moving on to miscellaneous. If this product contains alcohol, you can mark it as such here. This one doesn't, so I'm going to leave this blank. And then there we have it. Let's go ahead and click create. And now we have our very first product. So now that we've created this product, I then want to dive into the pricing options for products. There are 4 different pricing type options. You can either have fixed pricing, sized pricing, variable pricing, and weight pricing. So fixed pricing is the default, which is what appears when you first create the product up here. I did not put in a fixed price since we're going to see in a second that this type of drink is typically a sized priced drink. So let's move on to size pricing. So size pricing means that you will need to set up multiple sizes that will influence the base price of the product. This can be done in two ways, either through a pricing modifier, which we'll touch on later, or a custom modifier, which you can make on the spot. So if most of your drinks have completely unique prices, like none of them have the same price options for the size, I would recommend just creating custom modifiers. But if most of your drinks, the small, medium, large, are the same base price, I would then just create a pre-made pricing modifier. But for now, let's just do a custom modifier and click add. And then this will prompt this pop-up to appear. So we'll show size pricing. You can make a name for this. So typically this is just sizes, and then you can add an internal tag. So this allows you to easily find the name of this pricing option. Next is modifier multiples. Here you have the option to select if there is a multiple that the modifier options will increase by. So this is common for things like pizzas, where the toppings, are different on each size. So the modifier options will increase by a certain multiple. But for coffees, typically this is just set to no. And then you can also have a default option, which will automatically be selected. So typically that is also set to no. So what you're going to want to do next is click on this add option button. And you're going to want to click that for each option that you offer. So each size, for example. So let's just do small, medium, large. So I'll do 16 ounce or 12 ounce, 16 ounce, and then 24 ounce. So let's say this is $3.50, this is $4, and this is $4.50. Now let's go ahead and click save. And now these will be the pricing options for the drink. So if they want the smallest option, it would be $3.50 versus if they want the largest option, it would be $4.50. Let's move on to variable pricing. So for variable pricing, this means that the price will be selected at checkout on the point of sale. Also, please note that this pricing type should not be selected for products that have mobile enabled set to yes, since they obviously won't be able to set the price on the ordering platforms that are mobile. So for this, you can put the base price to whatever you would like. So if it's $5, you can put that, or you can leave it at 0 and then just completely set the price at the point of sale. Please note as well that for every time you adjust the pricing type, you will need to click on this Save Pricing button. Otherwise, the price will not save. Finally, there is weight pricing. So for weight pricing, the price of the product will depend on its weight. For here, you will need to enter in both a base price and a price per unit weight. So the base price can either be left at 0 or you can set it to be whatever you'd like. Just note that the total cost of the product will be this base price plus the price of the weight. So next is price per unit weight. So here you will need to input the price per unit of weight, and the total cost of this will be the price times the weight of the item, which you will enter on the point of sale, plus the base price. So if this is, for example, 50 cents, and the weight was 4, it would be 50 cents times 4. Go ahead and click save. So this is common if you have like a bag of candy, for example. I'm just going to leave this at fixed pricing for right now. You click save and boom. So that's a quick overview on product pricing options. Now, in addition to creating products on the web dashboard, you can also create them from the point of sale. So let's dive into how you would go about doing that. So to create a product on the point of sale, you will want to click on the 3-line icon up in the top left and click register. We're already here. So from here, you're going to want to click on the edit mode button in the bottom right corner. From here, you're going to want to click on the add new product button. And then once you're on this page, there will be several different fields that you will need to enter. First being the product name. So let's just copy what's already there, mocha iced coffee. Then you will need to select a product category. So we created coffee already, so let's also just attach that category to this product. Next is product description. This is optional, but here you have the option to include a short description of your product. So this is, let's do the same thing. World famous mocha iced coffee. But again, this is optional. Next, mobile enabled. If this toggle is turned on, customers will be able to order this product on your mobile ordering app and website. If you do not want them to, just click it to turn the toggle off. Same thing with kiosk enabled. If this toggle is turned on, customers will be able to order this product when the point of sale is set up on kiosk mode. Next is point of sale enabled. If this toggle is turned on, the product will be displayed on your point of sale for your customers to order in person. Next is third party enabled. If this toggle is turned on, the product will be displayed on your connected third party ordering platforms for your customers to order. Next is one click. If this toggle is turned on, clicking on this product on the point of sale will directly add it to your cart without opening up the modifier screen. So if you want that, turn it on. If you don't, just turn it off or leave it off. Next is alcohol. If this toggle is turned on, the product will be tagged as alcohol. Next is autocomplete product. If this toggle is turned on, the product will be automatically completed upon purchase and will never appear on the ticket screen. So again, more common for grab and go items or canned drinks, stuff like that. Note that this setting only applies to orders placed on the register. Next is require advance notice. If this toggle is turned on, the product will require advance notice when ordering, and you will then need to specify the number of days of notice that will need to be given in order to order this product in this box that appears below. I'm going to leave this off for right now. Once you finish filling in these fields, you can go ahead and click Next. From here, you'll then be taken to the pricing information page, where you will need to fill in the following information. First, product pricing. So click where it says fixed pricing to prompt the drop-down to appear and select which pricing type you'd like to have for the product. So like I just discussed, there are these 4. I'm going to leave it as fixed pricing for right now and put the price to $1.50. Cheap drink. Next is tax rates. So we don't have a tax rate created yet. We will do that in a second. So for right now, I'm just going to have tax disabled for this product. And I did that by turning this toggle on. And when this toggle is on, it indicates that the product will not be taxed. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Next. From here, you'll then be taken to the logo page, where you will need to select a logo for the product from either any of the presets listed, or upload an image from your device by clicking on the Tap to Change Image Plus button here. Next, let's go ahead and select one. For this one, I'll do the coffee icon again. Actually, let's do a color this time. So I selected blue, and let's click Create. Boom. So now that mocha iced latte or iced coffee that I just created shows up here and is in blue. So now that that has been created, the product has now been automatically added to your menu and will be available to purchase on all of its enabled platforms. Now, once it's been created while you're still in edit mode, you can always just click back into it or click into any of your other products to edit either its name, category, image, enabled settings, one-tap add to cart setting, and more. So just note that if you do make any changes, make sure to click on the Save Product button up in the top right here. So once the product looks good to go, you can just click on the Exit button in the bottom right corner, and boom, it's now been officially added. So that's a quick rundown of how to create products from your point of sale. Now that we've gone over categories and products, let's now run through how to create modifiers. So modifiers allow you to customize your products through add-ons or modifications. There are two types of modifiers: pricing modifiers and add-on modifiers. Pricing modifiers change the default price of your products, which are things like size options, for example, while add-on modifiers simply add on to the base price of a product. An example of this that's common is things like syrups, flavors, or milk. You are able to attach modifiers to products directly from the Dripos web dashboard. So let's go into the web dashboard here and click on the Modifiers tab on the left here. So from here, we're going to want to click on the Create Modifier button, and there will be the two options, like I mentioned, that show up here. So let's first go into creating an add-on modifier. For all add-on modifiers, you have the ability to select a default option, make it required when adding an attached product to the cart, and either enable or disable it for mobile ordering. So let's first go in and create an example modifier. So for here, I'm going to do syrup. You can also attach an internal tag if you want. So this is common, like it says in the tooltip, if two modifiers have the same name, this is used to uniquely identify them, and this won't display on the point of sale. So it just allows you to quickly locate it if you have multiple things that are the same name. I'm just going to leave this alone for right now. You can then choose between 5 different add-on types that add on to the base price of products. So for this is under the modifier type, and you can just click on the drop-down to see these 5. The first of which is single select. With this modifier type, customers can only select one option within the modifier group. An example of a single select modifier would be temperature, with the option of hot or iced, where they can only select one or the other. So if we were to do that, we'd click on the Add Options button twice to hot or cold, and that would be that. Next is single select with quantity. With this modifier type, customers can only select one option within the modifier group, but can select multiple quantities of that option. A common example of a single select with quantity modifier would be extra espresso with the option of add shots, where they can add, multiple of that option. So for that, it would look something like this. You could put the price, 50 cents. Next, let's move along to multi-select. So with this modifier type, customers can select multiple options within the modifier group. When creating this modifier type, you can set minimum and maximum amounts as well that a customer needs to select. Or if you would prefer to have no minimum or maximum quantity, you can just leave these as 0. An example of a multi-select would be avocado toast with the options of add egg and gluten-free bread. So that would look like this. I can put this as $1. So what this means is someone could select both add egg and gluten-free bread. Next is multi-select with quantity. So with this modifier type, customers can select multiple options and can select multiple quantities of one or more options within this modifier group. When creating this modifier type, you can also set minimum and maximum amounts that a customer needs to select. Or if you would prefer there to be no minimum or maximum, you can just leave these as they are at 0. An example of a multi-select with quantity modifier option would be extra toppings, with the options being pepperoni, sausage, and onions. So let's do that. Do 50 cents as well. So for this, someone could pick 2 pepperonis, 1 sausage, and 1 onion, or 2 pepperonis, 3 sausage, 3 onion. If you only want them to be able to select a maximum of 3, for example, you could put that in here. That way they couldn't choose too many. Finally, we have multi-select with fixed price. With this modifier type, customers can select as many options in the modifier group as they would like for one fixed price. When creating this modifier type as well, you can also set minimum and maximum amounts that a customer needs to select, or leave it as 0 if you do not want there to be minimum and maximum amounts. An example of a multi-select with fixed price modifier would be syrups, with options including vanilla, lavender, mint, raspberry, and so on. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's say these are my different syrup options. You will also need to put in the fixed price for the modifier. So let's say it's $2. So what this means is they can select as many of these as they want, and the price would simply be $2. So it doesn't really matter what's listed here because it's a fixed price. For this as well, you can put the maximum selection so that they can't pick more than you would like them to. So they couldn't take advantage and do, 5 vanilla, 5 caramel, 6 mint, and so on. For add-on modifiers as well, aside from the modifier types, you can also do default options. So to do that, once you have your options in, you can select from the drop-down what you want to be selected by default, and then customers can always change this as well. Next required, if this is set to yes, then the customer must select an option listed in order to add the item to the cart. And finally is enabled. Here you can select if you would like the modifier to be available on your shop's order app and order website. If this is set to no, the modifier will not display on your mobile ordering platforms. However, regardless of what you set it to, it will still display on your point of sale. Also, there's also the enabled setting. If you would like tax to be enabled for the modifier option, leave this to yes. If you do not want tax to be enabled, just set this to no. So now let's go ahead and walk through how to create a pricing modifier, which alters the default price of the product. So let's go ahead and call this size, since that's the most common pricing modifier. And I'm going to call this latte size, and I'll show you why this is helpful in a little bit. For pricing modifiers, you also have the option to set up modifier multiples. So let me show you how this would work. So if we add small, medium, and large, and then put, let's say 3, 450, and then 6. We would put the modifier multiple to be 1, 1.5, and then 2. So what this means is the modifier is multiplying 2 times the original value, versus here it's 1.5, and this is the original. So that's a quick rundown of modifier multiples. Moving on. Next, we can select the default option, similar to how we did before. So we click here. We want small to be selected automatically. We can click that, or we can deselect and have no default option. Next is required. For pricing, this is typically always set to yes, since you need them to be able to select a size in order to purchase the item. Next is enabled. So set this to yes if the modifier will be enabled on your shop's order app and order website. If you select no, the modifier will not display on your mobile ordering platform. So for pricing modifiers, I would always leave this set to yes. Once you've finished filling this all in, you can go ahead and click save, and boom, we have our first pricing modifier. So let's walk through now how we would go about attaching modifiers to a product. The quickest way to do this is actually by doing it from the category level. So if we go to categories, click view, and scroll down, we can quickly attach an add-on modifier to all products in a category. So by doing this, you can just click on this check mark here next to where the name field is, and then click on the Add Global Modifier button. From here, we only have one add-on modifier available that we've created thus far, so we can click syrup and click Add. And now we can see that the product now has the modifier attached to it. So that's a really quick way to do that. However, for pricing modifiers, that can only be attached at the product level. So to do this, you would need to click into a product, or just click on this down bar here, and under the pricing section, change this from fixed to sized pricing. That will prompt this modifier pop-up to appear. You will want to leave this to pre-made modifier and then select the sized modifier that we created here. Then click add, and boom, we have that modifier attached. We can click save. Now if we refresh, we'll see that Mocha Iced Coffee now has a price of 3 and higher. So you cannot attach priced modifiers to an entire category. It can only be attached at an individual product level, versus you can attach add-on modifiers to entire categories so that it can quickly be attached to all products within a category. You can also, of course, just attach a modifier to an individual product rather than all products in a category by going into here, going into a product, clicking on the modifiers tab down below. Let's say this wasn't on here. Click on the add modifier button, click global modifier, syrup, the one we created, and boom, now it's attached. From here, we can also just create a custom modifier that will only appear on this product, and this allows us to just make a modifier on the spot, and it will automatically attach to this product. But I typically recommend just creating global modifiers if they're going to be attached to multiple products on your menu. Okay, now that we've gone over the basic menu building aspects and how to create them, let's go over how to edit them. So to edit a category, we just go back onto Sales, Menu, and then Categories, and then click into the category you wish to view by clicking View. From here, you can just click on the Edit Information button, and all the fields that we saw when creating the product will then appear, and you can make any changes directly from here. If you do make any changes, please make sure to click Save down at the bottom. You can also quickly edit a category by just clicking on this Quick Edit button, which will also prompt this screen to appear, and make changes from here, and simply click Save. So 2 options there. Moving on to products, you can edit products from both the Dripos web dashboard and point of sale. So first, let's walk through how to edit it from the web dashboard. So that's Sales, Menu, Products. From here, you can click View next to the product you wish to edit. Click on this Edit Information button and make changes to any of the settings you set when originally creating the product. Just make sure to click Save as well. From here, you can also click on the Actions button in the top right, duplicate the product, as well as delete the product. From here, you can also edit the modifiers by just clicking on the Edit button and clicking Delete, and that would remove the modifier from the product. Moving on to modifiers. From here as well, click on the Modifier tab, click on the View button here, and from here you can make any changes you would like to the settings, to the options, to the price. Just make sure you click Save as well. You can also quickly remove the modifier from products by just clicking on this Remove button here, or add a product to this modifier so that the modifier is attached to additional products here, and just search or type into this field. So if I search AMA, you see it brought me to matcha. Click Add, and now matcha has been attached. Perfect. Now let's walk through how we can edit products from the point of sale. So to edit products from the point of sale, click on the 3-line icon in the top left and click Register. From here, you will want to again click on the Edit Mode button in the bottom right corner. Once you've entered edit mode, go ahead and just click on the product you wish to edit. So let's edit the pumpkin pie, for example. Once you are on this page, you will then be able to modify the product's name, category, description, image, and different settings. Just note that if you do make any changes, make sure to click Save Product in the top right corner. From there, once you finish making your changes, go ahead and click Exit, and those changes will then sync to all of its enabled platforms. Now let's move on to editing and deleting modifiers. You are able to modify and delete modifiers through both the Dripos web dashboard as well as the point of sale. So let's first start with the web dashboard. So for here, click on Sales, Menu, and then Modifiers. And then from here, find the modifier that you wish to edit and click Edit on the button next to it. And this will prompt this pop-up to appear where you can make any changes you would like to the modifier or delete it entirely. You can also click on the View button, make any changes here. Just make sure to click Save. You can add additional options as well. From here, you can actually also remove products that have this modifier attached so that the modifier is no longer attached to the product. So for that, you would just click on the Remove button. You can also add products to the modifier so that the modifier is attached to additional products. But just make sure if any changes are made that you are remembering to click on this Save Modifier button. Otherwise, the changes you made will not save. So let's now move on to how to edit modifiers from your point of sale. So to edit modifiers on the point of sale, you're going to want to again click on the 3-line icon, click on the Register button. I was already here. Then click back on the Edit Mode button in the bottom right corner. And then once you've entered edit mode, go ahead and click on the product that you want to edit a modifier for. Once on the products page, so let's find a product that has a modifier attached. So, cortado. Here, you can go ahead and edit the following settings for the attached modifiers. So let's click Cortado. So from here, go ahead and scroll down till you find its modifier section. From here, you can edit the following settings for the attached modifiers. The first being disable mobile ordering for the entire modifier. So if you would like to disable mobile ordering, what you would do is just click on the toggle next to the modifier name, off. That means that it would not show up on your order app or order website. If you would like it to still be enabled, just leave it on. Additionally, you can disable mobile ordering for a singular option. To do this, you're going to want to go ahead and click into a specific option listed. You can then turn off the mobile ordering toggle and click Save, and that would show up as disabled. You can also, when clicking into a modifier option, change the modifier name as well as the modifier price by just typing in and changing it. I'm going to just leave it as it is, but if you wanted to, you could do that. Just know that if you do make any changes to the modifiers, make sure you click Save Product so that your changes do sync over. Also note that any changes you make to modifiers will automatically sync to all of your ordering platforms as well. So once everything looks good, as always, make sure you click Save Product, and then you can go ahead and click on this Exit button, and that's how you edit it from the point of sale. Another thing to note is that modifiers can only be deleted from the web dashboard, so that is not a functionality that can be done from your point of sale. Any modifiers that you have disabled can be viewed by clicking on this View Disabled Modifiers button down here. So if you wanted to just quickly re-enable it, you could just go in, turn on Enable, and click Save Product. You can also view disabled products by clicking on the View Disabled Products button. Click into here and turn the mobile ordering toggle back on. So disabled products and modifiers still are only pertaining to disabled on mobile ordering platforms. A quick another note on modifiers as well is you also have the ability to quickly sort them in alphabetical order by clicking on this Sort Options button. So let's say I added an option that's called Apple and an option that's called Grapes. If I click on this Sort Options button, you'll see it now automatically sorted the options in alphabetical order. I go ahead and click Save, and now the modifiers will display in alphabetical order on all of their attached products. So the next thing we want to cover is tax rates. So to create a tax rate, you will want to go onto the web dashboard and click on the Sales button, click Menu, and then Tax Rates. With tax rates, you are able to create rates and apply them to your shop's menu from the Dripos web dashboard. You can also create different tax rates for different menu categories or ticket types. You also have the ability to set a default tax rate that will automatically apply to specific ticket types, modifiers, and any custom products created on the point of sale. So let's dive into creating a tax rate. So to create a tax rate, once you're on this page, you're going to want to click on the Create Tax Rate button up in the top right corner. From here, there will be several things you will need to input, including the tax's name. So let's just use state tax, leave the type as sales, then put in the rate here. So I'm just going to put 4.5%. And then tax rates can either be exclusive or inclusive. Exclusive tax rates means that the tax is added on top of the price of products once they have been added to the cart, versus inclusive tax rate indicates that the tax will already be included in the displayed price of products. So more often than not, this is exclusive, but if you have inclusive tax rates in your district or state, you can select that. Next is default rate. So if something is the default rate, that means it will be automatically applied to custom products, ticket types that have tax enabled, and will be the default rate attached to products and categories that have tax enabled. So I'm going to set this to yes for right now. Actually, no. Then you could attach any notes as well onto the tax rate. And then let's go ahead and click create, and then boom. So the quickest way to apply a tax to your products would be by first creating the tax rate prior to ever even creating a product category or modifier. But in case you didn't do that, the quickest way to do it would be by clicking into the Categories tab, clicking into a category that you want to apply the tax to, clicking on the Tax Rates button, clicking on the Add Tax Rate button here, and then selecting the tax that you want to apply to all products in this category. So once that tax rate has been attached, every product in this category will then have the rate that you attached to it and will have its tax rate applied. You can always delete a rate or add multiple rates on top of one another, and then they would both apply. Additionally, if you wanted to apply a tax on just an individual product rather than all products in a category, just go into the specific product you want to attach the tax to and scroll down, and you'll find the Taxes tab. From here, you can delete rates and add additional rates as well. Now let's touch on how we would go about rearranging our menu. So when we go to the sales menu page on the web dashboard, we'll find all of our categories up at the top here. And if we click into any category listed, we'll see our products. So to edit the order of products in a given category, you're going to want to just click on this 3-line icon to its left and drag to your desired location. So whatever appears at the top will be the first item displayed on all of your platforms, and whatever is at the bottom is what will display last. So if you wanted to reorganize these, you would just drag and move those. If you wanted to reorganize the order of modifiers on a given product, you can click into a product listed, scroll down to the modifier section, and click on this icon down here and drag to rearrange. So now syrups will be what appears first and milk will appear second. As for rearranging categories, you can do this by clicking on the Categories tab and dragging the order as well, so that what appears at the top will be what displays first, like such. In addition, if you wanted to rearrange the order of modifier options, you can do so by clicking into the Modifiers tab, clicking into any given modifier, and dragging to your desired location, or you can quickly order them in alphabetical order by clicking on this Sort Options button. Just make sure if you make any changes that you click on the Save Modifier button in the top right. The last thing we wanted to discuss is custom products. So custom products are one-time items that can be created and purchased on the point of sale register. So in times where you need to be speedy and just want to add a one-time item, this is the best situation for that. So to create a custom product on the point of sale, you're just going to want to click on the 3-line icon, click on the Register tab, and bring yourself to this screen. Once you're here, you're going to want to click on the tag icon up at the top of the screen and select the Custom Product button. From here, a pop-up will appear where you can input the product's name if you would like, but that is optional, the price, quantity, and you can choose if you want tax enabled or disabled. So if you're quick and on the spot and don't want to put in a name, that's fine. Just need to put in a price. You can put the quantity. I'm just going to put 1. Let's actually do 2. We don't have a tax rate on this location, but if we did, tax would be applied. I'll leave it off for right now. Click Add, and boom. So this doesn't actually add the product to your menu, but it allows you to quickly add things to your menu, to your cart on the spot. You can also just click back into it while it's in your cart and make any necessary changes just make sure you click Update, or if you want to remove the line item, just click Remove.